Hey everybody, I'm Mark Lambert. I'm with Aerial Engagement. We are a public flight simulator studio in Scottsdale, Arizona. I have a question for you. What do you think of when you think of ground school? Of course, it's all about the classroom, right? Sitting on the ground at some desk, poring over 60 pounds of books, charts, maps, committing to memory an endless stream of formulas and rules and FAA regulations. Then, when you've taken in all that your brain can handle, you jump in the airplane with your instructor to try your hand at the maneuvers that you read about, right? Well, what if flight students changed up their ground experience? Could they develop proficiency faster? Would they be safer student pilots by the time they took to the air? Is there a way to reduce knowledge decay? How about saving lots of money? Studies indicate ground school changes will do all of that and more. It's done by including high-fidelity flight simulation in the ground instruction experience, whether you're talking about initial pilot training or advanced ratings. Here's how we do it. Wait, no, that's not how we do it. This obviously is a museum piece from the early 1930s. It's the Link trainer, and it was used in World War II as a training device. In this particular shot, you could see servicemen learning how to do instrument flight in a Link trainer. This is about 1945 during wartime. Advances in graphical representations and the corresponding improvements of transfer of training occurred in the 1990s with the advent of the computer as it was applied to flight simulators, and it only got better in the 2000s. Now, when we talk about adding simulators today to the modern ground school experience, this is what we're talking about. This is a modern simulator. It's configured as a single piston engine cockpit. It has a real Garmin G1000 NXI glass cockpit, the actual working instrumentation with all the correct buttons and knobs that you would find in the airplane. This particular one can be configured to model 5 different single-engine piston airframes and 3 multis. There's several different brands, of course. This happens to be the GTX Advanced Aviation Training Device, AATD, made by Precision Flight Controls. Here's Redbird's offering. This is the LD model. And Frasca makes one too, to name just 3. But how do they fit in the ground training experience? Well, with the cooperation of Vaughn College and Embry-Riddle University, Wright University researchers presented in 2015 a paper to the International Symposium on Aviation Psychology. It examined the effectiveness of simulator-centric training when combined with ground school. 3 cohort groups were chosen. One group received intensive simulator training, the second received far less, while the third received very little simulator exposure at all. The researchers at Wright found that the amount of simulator training that was received was indirectly proportional to the time needed in the aircraft. In other words, the cohort group that spent the most time in simulators spent the least time in the aircraft, about 40% less time, but they achieved the same training proficiency. How much time and money would you save in the pursuit of a certificate or rating? Well, if you're renting an aircraft at $165 an hour and you save, what, 35 hours or so? You've just saved over $5,000. Efficiency, safety, pausing or freezing for immediate feedback, focusing on part task training and scenario-based training, those are all additional advantages. And it could all be rapidly repeated. As an added bonus, simulator time may be creditable toward in-air requirements. So if serious simulator training is safer, cheaper, and faster, why do flight simulators remain a mystery to general aviation flight students and pilots? Why is it that when they experience a modern flight simulator for the first time, many of these students and pilots say, "I had no idea"? Well, in my opinion, the flight training industry derives its profits from flight training in the air. If the Hobbs meter isn't turning on an aircraft, those who own the aircraft for rental purposes can't cover expenses. Plus, many flight instructors today teach so they can accumulate enough flight hours to get a job at the commercial airlines. You can't accumulate pilot in command hours in a simulator as an instructor. So it seems to me that both of these motivations work against the use of simulators in flight training. But now you know the facts about blending simulator time into a comprehensive flight training program. Increasingly, the GA pilot has high-fidelity simulators available to them in public places to accelerate safe training while saving lots of money. You just may have to look a little harder for the place to do it, but remember, not all flight training is done in the air. Thanks.